All right, and welcome back to another SMSU League of Legends game coming up here. Playing Concordia tonight. SMSU deciding to go for kind of their signature draft again. Going with that Swain, keeping that flexible, and then deciding to go Scion in the top lane, Nocturne in the jungle, Jace in the mid lane, Swain again in that bottom AD carry role, and Seraphine support. This is a pretty common draft coming out here from SMSU, something that they are very accustomed to. Meanwhile, you got Ornn, Vi, Yone, Ashe, and Zyra over on the other side here. And looks like both teams going to do a little bit of a passive start. Not trying to force an engage. And we're going to see a very normal start to this game.
Minions have spawned.
Just waiting for things to spawn, as neither team is going to be aggressive here. And we're going to let this camera show us what is going on. Alright, and blue buff and red buff started from the junglers here. Help of both bot lanes. Jace going for a little bit of damage to Yone, but Yone winning that trade a little bit here. Level 2 now. Should be getting hit. Oh, no, this is the first wave. Sorry. SMSU trying to prep to hit level 2. Seraphine getting some zoning. Swain getting another. Ooh. Seraphine taking some punishment here, though. Has to get Summoner healed out. Zyra missing her combo. Ashe takes quite a bit of damage back. But SMSU at the disadvantage right now. Vi maybe looking for a gank on mid here. But Yone is pushed up, making this an incredibly difficult gank. Shaman's getting a little bit of poke back and securing that cannon creep. SMSU healing up under tower here. Seraphine looking for more and more poke and is able to land more. Takes quite a bit of damage back in trade. Is Ashe going to be able to finish this off? And she does. SMSU overextending a little bit there. Unable to get everything off that they wanted. Seraphine getting caught out, taking just too much damage from those plants. Poking too hard.
Just
SMSU maybe looking for a gank here. Nocturne gets revealed by a ward, though. Scion keeping his own in the top lane, able to build a small CS creep advantage versus Ornn here. And Concordia's bot lane actually decided to opt for a back there. They should come back with the advantage in items, but SMSU should have an EXP lead, and they might be able to force that into some advantage they can find in this bot lane. Now Vi coming for this mid lane gank. Jace able to dodge it with the flash. And Swain lands some damage down, but Ashe instantly trading back quite a bit onto the Seraphine again. Seraphine feeling very squishy this game. Zyra landing her E, but no damage follow-up. Jace jumping in mid, looking for a little bit of pressure, but none to be had. Vi maybe looking for a gank in bot lane. SMSU, will they be expecting us? There comes the ping. And they back off in time. SMSU Scion going to decide to go for a back here. Try to get caught up on items. Meanwhile, the Yone going to TP back to mid as well. The Jamma's having blown his TP earlier. Yone has a little bit of an advantage there. The later back, able to spend more of that money. And it comes back at full HP. Swain getting more and more poke damage off, getting more and more stacks with that passive. And Vi actually was looking for a middle gank here, but backing on a ward. SMSU has a lot of information now. Nocturne going to see that as a sign and back it for himself. SMSU missing a lot of their poke spells there, but that Zyra E just barely misses Swain. That could have been a problem, but Swain does dodge it. Now some poke coming out into Seraphine, but Seraphine staying alive. And a lot of damage coming back onto that Zyra again. Needs to be a little scared of getting too far forward and getting rooted by that Zyra, but pretty soon that Swain should be able to zone her out with that W and turn that into a kill. Vi looking bottom though, maybe seeing this as weakness for SMSU, and the Nocturne might run into her. SMSU has full information as Nocturne sees her. And Nocturne, is he going to give up control over this pink? Nocturne might be able to win this fight. Vi backing off now, and Nocturne going to back off to his own jungle. Seraphine getting even lower. Starting to get in that worrisome HP where you can't really walk up anymore. Swain still full health though. Could be maybe in a little bit more aggressive position. Seraphine taking control of those plants, trying to get some extra money for herself, but taking a little poke there from the arcane comment. Nocturne diving in, now trying to finish off and able to finish off the Zyra. Will this continue? Swain misses the CC. There comes Summoner Heal out as both players miss from SMSU side, but that's still a free kill. And up top, Orin able to take out SMSU Scion, but Scion's passive comes into play and is able to trade the kill back out at least. Pajama is going to be backing off here, meaning SMSU won't be able to start this dragon. Will the Vi decide? No, going to go ahead and clear out that ward. And that is good information for SMSU to have. Knows where the Vi went. Sees the Yone on wave. Knows they're not on dragon here. And now SMSU are going to be coming back with Jace. At the same time, Yone backs. If SMSU knew that, they might be able to start this dragon. They might be able to start the Rift Herald, but does not look like that's going to be the case. Vi going ahead and starting dragon a little early here, as their mid laner's not here, but SMSU has no vision here. This is probably going to be a free dragon. But SMSU, they want to try to get a kill in bot lane instead. Swain doing a lot of damage, forcing that bot lane out. SMSU still don't know that this dragon is under play, but they are trading for the Rift Herald. Whether they know it or not, they will be getting the Rift Herald instead. Vi finishes off the dragon. SMSU now know what was going on, and they know that starting this Rift Herald was the right call. Jace now very aware, seeing that Vi walk through his lane. Nocturne trying to finish off the scuttle, but Yone finds the perfect timing. Steals it away. Nocturne going to go ahead and start the enemy blue buff. This is probably going to be an engagement here. Minoka gets the spell shield off, blocking that Q, and now Orin going all the way in here. Vi coming up and trying to follow it up. Nocturne taking a lot of damage and is dropped very quickly. Ash poking out and able to get a lot of damage onto Swain. Swain able to dodge the Zyra snare there. But SMSU under attack from these lanes.
Storm of blades.
Jace falling behind a little bit in this Yone matchup. Vi now securing that blue buff that was contested before. And another small engagement coming down in bot lane. The Zyra ult defensively here. Swain ult comes out. Are they able to put out enough damage into this Ashe? And they are, and they're probably able to pick up the Zyra too. Such a close fight, and it goes SMSU's way. That's big deal for them being able to get these plates in bottom and able to snowball that to an advantage. Very, very good and big play for SMSU. Now SMSU, do they see this Yone roaming down? And the Yone decides to go back to mid lane, understanding that SMSU would probably be out by the time he gets there. SMSU do a lot of damage to that tower. They get a lot of turret plating. Swain's going to be backing, able to buy a lot of items. There comes out the plated boots, Lost Chapter, the Fiendish Codex, and the Stopwatch, making him very difficult to kill here. SMSU's Nocturne, maybe a misplay with that ult. Thought he was in range for the Yone, but not quite in range, or just a misclick there. Hard to tell exactly what. And this Orin fight. Oh, here comes the gank in the mid. SMSU's Jace able to pay enough attention there. Pajama's able to get out of that. Swain throwing the W down, trying to zone out players from harassing his support here. And Zyra spotted there, but Jace getting engaged on mid. Able to stay alive. Top lane, been kind of a wet noodle fight so far. One kill each traded back and forth. The Bug getting the better of this trade by the looks of it. Now an Ashe arrow into the back line. Gaia failed, trying to stay alive. There's the stopwatch coming out. Able to help him finish off this Zyra kill, but SMSU gets caught out as Jace wasn't here for it. And they lose the fight because they're short a member. The Yone getting the first roam off. And it's very successful as SMSU only get one kill and trade for their 3. Jace now getting out of mid. Get some poke damage onto Vi. Yone dashing forward. Looking for some extra damage here. And forces the Jace flash out. Jace really struggling in this lane so far.
Steel Gale.
Oh my gosh, there's Yone damage, and the Yone gets the kill. Jace falling very far behind now. That Yone picks up a lot of money from those kills in bottom. Now SMSU trying to escort the Rift Herald in here. Make sure it gets the charge off, and there's the charge animation. Should do a lot of damage to this tower. And there's the Ashe arrow on to Seraphine here. SMSU, will they be able to trade this out? Swain turns around with the ult, but unable to find the engage. Now finds a little bit of damage onto the Ashe, but Ashe still plenty of HP. Oh, that root was max range. Is Skyfall gonna die here? And he has to flash away, unfortunately. And Yone picking up SMSU's Nocturne, and the Ashe flashing under tower, picking up that kill. At least the kill gets traded back, but SMSU dropping all across the map here. And now Jace, no flash here, in a tough situation, trying to get out, trying to dodge the VIQ, but unable to. SMSU dropping like flies all across the map, losing the advantage they built.
Red team's turret has been destroyed.
And there goes the mid tier 1 for SMSU. Another engage coming out on the top lane, but these guys are so tanky. Hard to see either one of them dropping here.
You can't hide behind lackeys.
Look at this brawl coming out. Not much going on the map now. Objectives coming up fairly soon. Some blue buffs coming up. Vi started on the Rift Herald. SMSU know about it. Will they be able to collapse in time? And Vi has a little bit of a sense of what's going on, but not getting out in time. SMSU able to pick up that kill. Now Yone gets dropped pretty low, but gets out. Now a little bit more of a brawl going in top lane. He hears the brawl in bottom lane as Swain gets ult off, doing a lot of damage to Ashe. Ashe unable to move away. Seraphine trying to stay alive, is able to. Swain running down the Zyra, trying to finish off the kill, but misses the E. If E lands there, that's probably a kill for SMSU on the Zyra as well, but SMSU will still be pretty happy taking out the Ashe. Ooh, this might be the kill. And SMSU finds it with a W from Swain. Able to set up the whole play with that slow. Now they see Vi and Yone roaming, so they get off of tower early. They make sure they get out. SMSU recovering fairly well from that 3 minutes where they really struggled. And they're getting Rift Herald down mid again. This should do a lot of damage to this tower. Ashe chasing the Nocturne though. Nocturne gonna have to flash the wall. And flashes the wall, but here comes the Ashe arrow. Here comes the Vi ult. Everything across. Minoka just trying to find a way out. A flash from Orin means Minoka gonna drop there. Yone, meanwhile, on that bottom tower, gets a lot of damage dealt. And a minute 30 to go for the next dragon. Now, SMSU are really gonna want to contest this dragon, as they do not want any more dragons towards Soul Point to go across. But look at the map positioning right now. Concordia having so much space. SMSU are gonna have to do something here to get some ward coverage, as all 4 members of Concordia grouped up here. Jace gonna face check him. And there's Jace getting engaged on. Not expecting all of them to be there. SMSU really trying to find some vision control here. SMSU very scared of moving forward. Meanwhile, in top lane, the Bug able to pick up Scion on that Orin, doing so much damage. Jace gets caught out now by the flash Vial or VIQ into the Ashe arrow, and that should be a free dragon for Concordia here. SMSU trying to get something back. They are able to pick up the Vi for free here.
Red team's turret
And
has been
now
destroyed.
maybe no dragon contest here. The Bug doing quite a bit of damage on this top turret. Yone TP's into bottom here. SMSU maybe looking at an engage on bottom. Decide to not go for it. Seraphine ult about
Blue team's turret has been destroyed.
halfway up. Same with Nocturnes. Cyan now able to secure that tower in top lane. And Cyan deciding to kind of ditch that top lane for a little bit here. Maybe coming down for this dragon fight. Has the wave pushed into a good position. There's Vi diving in. Or Yone diving in. A lot of damage dealt, but no kills dropped. Jace now isolates the Ashe. Trying to get the kill, but no one here to help him. And he gets dropped. SMSU on Dragon on the other side. Ashe arrow misses. Now Yone in, doing a lot of damage. Gaia Fail able to stay alive quite a bit, but not long enough. SMSU do secure the Dragon. And a 2 for 2 at the end of the day. So SMSU does come out ahead there, even though that fight looked pretty bad for SMSU. Infernal Drake secured though, and delaying the opportunity for Soul Point. Now the map kind of reset here as both teams back off and farm their jungle. Seraphine trying to come across and help against that Yone, but that dash back. Jace maybe gonna catch off more than he can chew. Asher misses though. SMSU now know that's on cooldown. Maybe they will be able to take that and turn that into a fight. Zyra off by herself. SMSU, are they aware of it? They could collapse on the Zyra pretty easily. She's a little overextended, but SMSU not aware of the position. Nocturne maybe catching it out now, but scared of who else might be there. SMSU do not have the proper ward control to go for a kill like that. SMSU now trying to clear out all that vision Zyra just spent time getting. Oh, SMSU finding a pick on Ashe. Potentially, no. Ashe does live with both summoners used there. Now Swain getting engaged on, and he's unable to take it up. Zonius comes out, though. Just enough HP. He's able to live through it, and they're able to pick up 4 very quickly. They have so much damage. And now they're onto Ornn. All 5 members of Concordia. Nope, just kidding. I didn't see Yone. It wasn't there. Yone backing off, and SMSU catching out 4. Finding an advantageous fight there. And Yone may have been the difference. SMSU being able to force that with one less person there means they're able to take it cleanly. Now SMSU don't have the most Baron damage here, but it shouldn't matter because there's no one coming to contest. And SMSU very happy to secure Baron here, get a nice gold lead, get a buy here, and should be able to start a push with this Baron buff. Some important items finished off here now. We've got Eclipse and Mermana coming out from the Jace here. Stridebreaker, Axiom, Heartsteel, Sunfire. Even a Bramble Vest picked up. Pretty nice to get that Grievous wounds. And the Zonia's finish in that last fight was very, very important, as Swain able to stay alive, get more damage dealt. So you're doing a decent damage to this Ornn. He's just so tanky. Don't really want to be... SMSU want this turret to drop, but they don't want to be caught out. Oh, SMSU might get caught out mid now. Look at this rotation coming in from Nebrasaka. Oh, the Ash Arrow misses. The Vi ult, though, into the Seraphine. SMSU not grouped means they lose one member here. Nocturne thinking about coming across, and it does come across. SMSU forcing into an odd-numbered situation, and they're dropping like flies. I'm not sure what SMSU was thinking trying to win that fight, and now Guy Phil caught out as well. Scion doing a lot of damage on the other end, but that was not worth it. That was a terrible fight for SMSU. I can't believe they opted to re-engage into it.
Red team's turret has been destroyed. Red team's turret has been destroyed.
SMSU gonna go ahead and lose an inhibitor here. And just, I'm not sure what they were thinking in that position. Having a 2-2-1 split push.
Blue team's turret has been
SMSU maybe looking for an engage here. Looks like the team might be split up a little bit. Nocturne trying to find a time to go in. Yone getting in and getting a lot of damage. SMSU does steal the dragon, however. And now the re-engage coming out from SMSU. The Swain just so big right now. There's no one to deal damage to him. And he's just tearing apart the back line here. And SMSU finally find another fight that they can capitalize on. And they get another ace. SMSU now should be able to get the mid inhibitor plus some, as Scion is on that bottom inhib or bottom tier 2. He should be setting that up for SMSU to come across and potentially get both inhibitors here.
Blue team's turret has been destroyed.
2 turrets dropping in
Blue team's turret has been
just one moment there as the split push comes through. SMSU gonna back out after that, but very big team fight win from SMSU. They can keep forcing these 5 versus 5 team fights. They seem to be the better team at it, but they keep getting picked before the team fights happen. SMSU looks like they're going to go for a full reset here, which I definitely think is a smart call. A full reset and potentially set up a bottom lane play here, or top, as Baron is coming up in 1 minute 40 seconds. So they should be prepping the top wave so that they can secure a free Baron and then take that to end the game here. But keep in mind, SMSU only up by 4,000 gold here. Still anyone's game, especially with this little trap coming out. Does SMSU see it? Scion gets some information on where Zyra is. Should make SMSU wary of walking into this trap. And Ash isn't here. If SMSU can find the engage, they might see it right here. And there's a Swain catching a land under the Zyra, and that's a free kill. A minute still on Baron.
Whispers itch at the back of my mind.
SMSU going to go gather this top lane, most likely. Get it shoving in so they can start Baron with no minion pressure on them. Forcing the minion pressure on their opponents so their opponents have difficult decisions to make. Also looking like they're going to try to group up maybe 2 super creeps in the middle. Get this pushing so that super creeps are banging on the door of Concordia during this Baron timer. SMSU roaming as a group of 4 finally. It's nice to see them staying more grouped than they have been. Taking out that pink ward. SMSU trying to find an approach here. The Nocturnal goes across and actually stops the Vi from making it across the wall. Now SMSU has a nice team fight. A huge knockup from Zyra. Pajamas exhausted in the backline. Yone doing so much damage, but SMSU, they are tanky enough to take it. Trying to finish off this Zyra. They're able to finish off that kill. Yone and Ash, the only ones left, but SMSU only has a +1 advantage. They still got to be a little wary here. They're going to go pick up the minion wave, but I don't know if they have the damage to do Baron. They don't have a jungler. Sion getting the top wave pressured, but Vi's going to be up in 6. And SMSU a little too antsy there.
Red team's inhibitor.
It looked like they had the pick clean. They overextend into that Zyra ult, and they get all 5 Zyra ulted up. Looks like the next objective, that Infernal Drake, 30 seconds. SMSU running down there to try to get some ward coverage. Yone recently having backed, but he does have teleport up. SMSU, oh, that would have been big. They could have stolen away that Scuttle Crab, but Scuttle Crab goes over to Concordia. Zyra getting some poke from over the wall, but SMSU clearing out this pink ward. Yone on the middle wave means SMSU is going to start this. They're going to try to finish this before Yone gets here, but it doesn't look like they're going to have quite enough time. Maybe it doesn't look like they're coming from the best angle. It comes down to a smite fight, and SMSU does win it. They're able to pick up Soul Point. Swain getting pretty low here, trying to get Zonies off, but he doesn't. Now SMSU Pajamas really low. Zyra taken low, but now SMSU has to bail on the team fight. Running out, trying to get out, but that might be game here as Concordia wins the team fight very hard. And SMSU, 30-second spawn timers. Concordia gonna push mid here. See if they're able to end before the SMSU respawn comes through here. Seraphine gonna try to keep them off as long as she can. Swain comes up in 6. And a lot of poke damage coming across. And here comes SMSU's Nocturne, picking up 1 kill, trying to get on the Orin, trying to slow him down to get a 2nd kill. SMSU secure 2. Now, will they be able to get to Baron in time to capitalize on those 2 people being down? They should have time here. And SMSU start the Baron. See if there's any contest coming out from Concordia here. The Yone may be going to try for it. Pajama is trying to bait him in, and it does look like it worked. Yone taken out. SMSU, a huge advantage here. They're going to finish off Baron, but now there's no Yone. And SMSU has a wave top. They should be able to go top here. They're going to back. Oh, they should be able to cut this mid wave and go top. Looks like maybe they're just gonna send all 5 people mid here. 37 seconds before Yone's up. SMSU not clearing waves very fast here. Still undecided here on who's going to win. Seraphine back, so that stops SMSU's push. SMSU actually a little weaker in this position, as Sion on the other side of the map is backing as well. 2 minutes to go on the soul point for SMSU. Concordia still has 1 more to go. A little bit of lull in the action as SMSU tries to clear up some waves, tries to get the Baron minions pushing here. Now Swain needs to back. SMSU having very staggered backs. They're burning through their entire Baron buff, just taking inopportune backs. Ash maybe looking for an arrow here in mid. Looks like Concordia is setting up for it. Zion gets in a position where he restricts the movement for his opponents here. And here comes a Nocturnal onto Vi. Unable to find the pick, though. Now here comes the charm. SMSU, they're falling into a choke, but are they able to have enough damage? Yone goes in, does a ton, but SMSU lives through the burst. And Pajamas falls, but they are able to pick up the Vi on the other hand. And that means SMSU has a jungler up if it comes down to a smite fight on Dragon here. But Dragon spawns 9 seconds after the respawn of Vi, so Vi should be able to get there in time. SMSU now going to try to get vision control over Dragon here. Okay. 4 members now approaching. SMSU, they are going to be at a disadvantage at the beginning here. Jace probably has TP and he needs to TP in right away, and he's going to. SMSU starting Dragon. They think they have the advantage. They don't see where Vi is. And there comes the Nocturne diving in deep, taking a lot of damage, but taking a lot of aggression away. Pajamas goes in deep, does a lot. Gaia failed, getting a lot of damage dealt with this ult. He's crushing this team fight, but there comes the damage from Yone. And SMSU, they're unable to deal with this Yone lifesteal. Oh my gosh, that should be game. As Yone carries that team fight. And that is very likely going to be it from SMSU. Losing game number 1 here. And we'll be back shortly with game number 2. And here we are back for game number 2. And we've got quite a bit of differences in the lineups coming out this game. SMSU taking the Ornn for themselves. That was on the opposite team last time. And Belvath, Ari, Ezreal, and Seraphine. Seraphine being the only common pick on SMSU's roster from last game. And now we got Malphite, Wukong, Aryan Soul, Kog'Maw, and Lulu, all different picks coming out from Concordia. So really, we can throw out what we knew last game. This is going to be a completely different one coming out. Both teams starting on their respective buffs here. Pajama's looking for some early poke onto Asol. Trying to keep him zoned out of the minions a little bit. Metal Horse lining up 3 CS there with 1 ability. SMSU trying to get a little poke on here. Ezreal doing a little bit of damage. Ari trying to punish this Asol. SMSU looking for a lot of damage, and that's first blood onto Lulu. Kind of out of nowhere. I know they hit level 2, but it looked like they missed enough of their skill shots to not get the kill. But Lulu turns back for 1 second and gets deleted. SMSU does have a pretty big lead when it comes to the mid lane, and now the bot lane also having a lead. Ooh, a lot of damage onto this Asol, and there's Flash forced out. A lot of damage brought across. That is going to mean Asol is very likely going to be backing here. He does have teleport. Ari has teleport as well. No ignites coming out from the mid lane. Ooh, Kog'Maw blowing flash now in this bot lane. SMSU keeping the aggression up. Asol doing his best to last hit despite being so low under tower here. Finally going to start the recall. Are you going to try to shove him in the meantime? Ari is earning herself a massive CS advantage in this lane as well. Going to go ahead and match the back. Going to have a lot more money to spend during Ari's back as 14 additional CS accumulated before needing to back. As we're getting a little poke off with the Q there. Seraphine going here, trying to poke out this Kog'Maw. Ezreal gonna go ahead and get a ward into this bush, and SMSU are able to pick up that ward. Luckily, they were both there just in time. Ornn seems to be having a good time in this top lane as well. 22 CS to the opponent's 13, and a fight in bot lane here. SMSU are able to pick it up, and they're able to get out and dodge the Kog'Maw passive. SMSU now 2-0 in this bot lane, really showcasing their skill in this bot lane, and hopefully they should be able to snowball that into a lot more pressure coming out. Minoka gets caught on the Monkey Kings. I mean the Wukong's camp here. Has to blow flash. Not going to be very happy about that. But at least no death. And SMSU is going well in every other lane. So they're not going to be too mad about wasting 1 flash here. Oh, does Monkey King find the Belvath now? And he does. And Wukong picks up a kill. SMSU starting to fall behind in that jungle roll. And that is a big punish for that invade. Orin taking a little low here. Malphite keeping the poke on with those cheese wheels. Now Ezreal has the Sheen. He's going to be very strong in these fights. Ahri looking aggressive, getting some poke down onto Asol. Asol really feeling the pressure of this Ahri. And here comes Wukong though. Maybe able to capitalize on SMSU's aggression. There he comes out. SMSU should be able to walk out of this one. Even get information on that pink ward location. Very good play from Ahri coming out here. And now more trading in the bot lane. Orin has the wave sitting under his tower in top. Just going to keep that frozen as long as possible by the looks of it. Try to get a CS advantage going. Few missed spells there from Ahri. Could have been a disaster for Asol if they had landed. But there's so much damage coming off. SMSU now accumulated a 20 CS lead in the bottom as well as 2 kills. And SMSU, they want to do this dragon. They know they have an advantage in bot lane. And they're going to start that scuttle beforehand and clear out wards. Cog trying to get some poke off, but Ezreal staying just fine as Seraphine is helping the jungler in the river here. And Ezreal actually winning this poke war, landing shots into both Kog'Maw and Lulu.
How sweet.
Ahri gets the charm onto Asol here. Gets quite a bit of damage traded back, but doesn't commit for it. Now SMSU's bot lane going to be pushing in here as well. So we see a little scrappy fight in the top lane. Wukong in bot, maybe looking for a gank on SMSU. And SMSU, are they going to be aware of this? They're playing safe. They now see it. They have that ward. And SMSU going to start walking up here in bottom, trying to keep the pressure on. Both teams kind of grouping with their mid laners and junglers. Oh, and we are going to see a fight in the middle. Pajamas trying to finish off this Asol. Unable to do it, but now Wukong caught out quite a bit. The flash from Ahri, the very early flash to make sure the kill gets secured. I really like that flash. Ezreal caught out a little bit, though, from SMSU, and he is taken down. In the top lane, does Orin have enough damage? No, the Malphite able to keep the fight off. Ezreal gets caught out in bottom. Should not have been in a position to get caught out. It is Ezreal and should have been able to disengage that.
Let's run. Ha! Feel that reaver. Red team has slain the dragon.
SMSU does get dragon though, and they're going to start pushing out this mid lane, trying to force TPs back, trying to force usage from their opponents here. Yep, there's the Asol TP
Quick as a fox.
in the mid.
Feel this.
Ahri trying to take out that pink ward she saw quite a bit earlier. Gonna go ahead and get it back in as well. Ezreal keeping it frozen in front of turret. Still up 15 CS and a kill, but did give up quite a bit of that lead with that previous death. Top lane going relatively even for both teams. Very close in net worth. Bel'Veth is a little bit behind of that Wukong, but Shouldn't be a big deal yet. Ari cleaning up all that CS. SMSU maybe collapsing on top. But Ari's not going. And they're going to get caught out by being in a 3 versus 2. Acel doing a lot of damage here. SMSU do get out of it. And now Pajama's trying to zone this Acel out. And looks like he successfully does. Causes a wave to die to turret. And get some turret damage. And some poke damage. But SMSU's lucky that they didn't lose more to that 3-man rotate towards top. Ari maybe going to go see them on Rift Herald here. Yep, gets the full information here. And lands the charm onto the real one. A lot of damage going down onto Monkey King here. Or Wukong. And Orin trying to catch the Malphite. Unable to, but Ari might have enough. Malphite has to ult away. And SMSU should be able to secure Rift Herald for that. Ezreal trying to stay safe in bottom. Do his best to clear out the waves. And get some solo XP here. SMSU cleans up the Rift Herald. And they might just go put it top right away here. And here comes, yep, that Rift Herald into top just to make sure that they get good money for it. They want to get that up before plates drop. That should give Orin a big advantage. 175 gold to both him and Belvath there. Wukong mid trying to secure the Ari off so Acel can farm. Ari is taking a big lead though, up 30 CS right now. And that proc from the end of Orin's combo doing so much damage. Look at that damage coming out from Orin. Both of them about to have their ults up. But Orin quick crafting some items. Some damage traded on to Kog'Maw here. And some resetting going on. Belvath backing. Orin backing. SMSU should have to be a little careful on their lanes right now. They have less help. Wukong getting in position to maybe gank bottom. And SMSU get some that pink should give them some information on what the plan from Concordia is. Now they see Wukong walking towards mid. And a root onto Kog'Maw here. That's Lulu ult dropped onto Kog'Maw trying to save him here. Ezreal jumping in, doing a lot of damage here. And so Ellie taking pretty low. Belvath shows up just to help secure, make sure Wukong does not show up. SMSU might be phase checking this Wukong now. Ezreal gets some vision control though. And Ari now grouping with them. This should be a good position for SMSU. But we'll see if they're able to make it work. Acel jumps across, gets a big ult, does a lot of damage. Minoka does survive though. And flashes all about. SMSU will take that trade, I believe. They are not going to be too mad about losing a support for Dragon. She's going to have to back anyway. And they blow some large cooldowns from Concordia's side. There comes RATP coming out, going to mid here. Oh, that RA charm almost landed there. It would have been a big amount of damage coming across. And this fairly passive trade in the top lane. Kog'Maw looking maybe a little aggressive here. Seraphine taking some poke. Ezreal not in position to counter poke here. Kog'Maw starting to feel very confident.
Quick as a fox. Feel this.
SMSU trying to predict where that A-Soul is going. Unable to make the pick though. Orin decides to back out of top lane. SMSU opening up, getting a big charm. Ezreal doing a lot of damage. They're able to pick up Lulu, but will they be able to pick up the Kog'Maw? Oh, a failed flash from Fail here. Belvath coming in now, and they should be able to pick that up. And SMSU capitalizing, but A-Soul has rotated over. Minoka trying to get out here. Maybe A-Soul maybe making a misplay. And Gaia Fail able to pick up that kill. Now fight going on top lane. But nothing much going on here. Two tanks again in the top lane. Duking it out with spaghetti noodles. Taking forever to do any damage to each other. Orin finally getting a little bit of a trade on. But Kog'Maw has now purchased the Bork. This is where the Kog'Maw starts to turn on. Starts to do a lot of damage. SMSU looking for a gank maybe here. Ari sitting in the bush. Does land a charm. Does do a decent amount of damage to that Malphite. And now SMSU are going to set up for it. Ari takes the aggro and just expertly plays it. SMSU having a much stronger start to this game. Up 7,000 gold now. And Kog'Maw has rotated up to this top lane. A-Soul trying to defend the bot lane against Ezreal here. Ezreal playing very aggressive. SMSU trying to secure the Rift Herald, and they do. They are seen doing it, but it doesn't matter. They don't have enough people from Concordia to deal with this 4-man from SMSU. Oh, Wukong goes in here. And SMSU are going to try to put the Rift Herald mid instead of defending their top turret. And this is going to do a significant amount of damage to this tier 2 tower. Belvath needs to be a little concerned here. But gets out just in time. Then SMSU have now fully reset, and they didn't lose any objectives. It looked like they might lose that top turret, but a quick decision to put Rift Herald mid, it secures them the mid turret and forces them off of that top turret. A very smart straight up play. SMSU does have TP on their Orin here, so they're maybe looking at starting a split push, but their jungler is nowhere to be seen here. Sion trying to get onto that tier 1 top. No one going back for him yet. And SMSU decides to TP to that, thinking that Wukong was definitely going in. Wukong able to pull out in time. Now we're looking at our first 5 versus 5 team fight. Seraphine getting low, a little aggressive of positioning. But Ezreal comes across, does some damage. Orin gets knocked up and unable to get backside of his ult. Belvath taken very low in this back line. Does do a decent amount of damage, but SMSU find the charm onto Kog'Maw. Ezreal gonna eat away from that.
Just for you.
Ari trying to catch up to the Asol now. Barely missing that charm. That might spell his life. Nope, Gaia failed there. Able to clean that up as well. And SMSU should be able to pick up this dragon that has spawned in the meantime. Ezreal maybe going aggressive. He's probably jumping over here. Decides not to. Decides Ari has it, and Ari does have it. Picking up a double kill while SMSU are doing dragon there. Unofficial ace, I believe, as SMSU killed all 5 members. Some of them had just respawned between the timer. SMSU may be getting a little aggressive here. Looking like they want to start Baron. And they are. They're just going to go ahead and start it. I don't hate this play. They've got good vision control, and it's probably unexpected here. We don't see anyone from Concordia worried about it right now. They had a great play from SMSU. Gonna go ahead and get full backs in. And SMSU just gonna go ahead and start responding to these waves that got shoved in while they're backing. But after they get these waves shoved in, I'd really like to see them four-man group. Oh my gosh, that charm landed. And there's Malphite ult down. And Wukong shows that he is top as well. Wukong jumping onto Ari, but taking a charm right away, and 3/4 of the HP. Belvath might be on the case now. SMSU maybe should be looking to group now. Rotate these mid players up to top lane and pinch this position, but they don't see it. Ezreal now bottom again. Belvath trying to regroup with his team mid, but SMSU in a 1-3-1 makes this a little awkward. SMSU are securing turrets though, and that's Ezreal getting a little bit of poke, getting a little attack speed buff. Already doing damage to this tier 2. No one here to stop it. And they're kind of getting all the turrets to fall for them. SMSU now looking up, farming the jungle on the way out. A lot of damage going on to Wukong there. And there's Wukong ult, has to be popped for the knockup. That's a big deal. SMSU able to find the charm on the Malphite here. Alright, giving them some poke on the way out, but now going to be shoving this turret in very quickly. And there's Ezreal doing good damage to Lulu. SMSU now cleaning up both sides of the jungle a little bit here before they get ready for their next push. They know Dragon's up in a minute 40. That might be their next objective. They might be done pushing for a little bit while they get lanes set up so that they crash at the time where Dragon is respawning. And SMSU decided to take 2 backs, one on Ari, one on Belvath here. Ezreal scouting the place, trying to get some poke. Unable to land everything though. Ezreal getting some poke on the Kag'Maw here. Ooh, this flank though. SMSU looked to be ready for it. Concordia was looking for a death bush in order to get back in the game. SMSU almost fell for it. Ari a little scared to show now. And there's the ASOL TP. SMSU Ari is going to go ahead and start pushing that top lane again. And SMSU really don't want to start this dragon here. They just want to be here in case of a misplay. But there comes the Malphite ult across the team. SMSU taken very low on a lot of their carries. Minoka gets a kill. Ari is here now, trying to clean up stuff on the back line. Minoka able to do a lot of damage in this. But Gaiaphil gets taken out mostly because his team just was not fully positioned and then is not able to avoid that Malphite ult. SMSU get the ace though, and they're turning on to Dragon. And another objective for SMSU. Now their 4th Dragon. And if we look at the Chemtech Soul, it's when below 50% HP. Gain 11% damage resist and 11% more damage. So it can be very useful in these team fights, especially with how much burst is coming out. SMSU may be looking at a reset before prepping for the Baron. SMSU now dealing with this top lane. Then they're very likely going to be starting this Baron. Wukong using his clone to block some of the damage. Pajama still dealing a lot though. SMSU lose a tower on the opposite side of the map, but I do not think they care about that. They are going for the win. Belvath playing very aggressive, finding the Wukong clone. Some poke coming out from SMSU here. Belvath just does so much damage to this turret.
Blue team's turret has been destroyed.
Just deletes a turret, and SMSU deleted turret mid as well. Belvath getting engaged in a little bit. Now Ornal across the team. They pick up 1, they pick up 2. SMSU trying to finish kills off here. They pick up 3, and that is going to be game. SMSU going to take game number 2, and we will be back very shortly with game number 3. All right, let's see if it. Okay, now it is working. Sorry about that. Took a little bit to get into game here. We've got quite a bit of a change up again coming out from Concordia here. The Jax, Amumu, Victor, Caitlyn, Morgana. And none of those characters showing up in the last game. SMSU sticking to what they had success with for the most part. You got Orin, Ezreal, Seraphine coming across from the last game, Nocturne from the first game, and a new pick of Lissandra for the series from SMSU here. Doesn't look like the game sounds are coming across here. Let's see if I can get that fixed. There we go. Ezreal scouting out the Caitlyn. SMSU getting a little information on where a ward has been placed here, but for the most part, pretty standard, straightforward setup. Looks like Amumu's going to start on the race or the, forget what they're called now. But a little bit, I think that's a normal for Amumu, but a little bit different start. Sandra trying to poke Victor here. Sandra winning this poke fight a little bit. But a very quick bind onto Seraphine. Seraphine takes a lot of her HP there. And luckily, Caitlyn did not start Trap, or that probably would have been first blood. Jax punishing Orin a little bit for this fight. But not much going on across the map so far. For the most part, pretty equal trades.
Sit down and listen up.
Seraphine getting healed up a little bit here. Trying to dish out some poke. Cassandra really trying to take advantage of this Victor in mid here. Keeping the pressure on. Just shoving him in, making him hard to last hit under tower here. Lissandra definitely having a big advantage now mid. Has drained that Victor mana pool empty. Meanwhile, has plenty of mana for herself. Just constantly threatening this poke. Big wave coming in for Jax. Jax going to end up with a decent CS advantage pretty soon here. SMSU sees the Mumu gank coming, able to back off in time. Victor back to SMSU might have an interesting play coming in. Nocturne stealing some jungle. If this gank from Amumu comes in. Oh wow, big punish coming out from Orin here. Amumu spending a lot of time around mid here, but not getting any gank attempt, and actually giving up on it. Pajamas doesn't realize how much space he just bought for the team. Is that Amumu wasted a lot of time in that bush. Meanwhile, Pajamas also has a 10 CS lead mid. Fairly even CS bottom. And a 7 CS lead for Jax with more coming to him. But this HP differential might mean it's hard for him to last hit here. The Orin can start threatening using some abilities here. That flame does so much damage. Jax is unable to poke back. Sandra goes in against Victor. Gets ult. And a flash comes out from Victor. 1 HP, but he gets out. And Lysandra actually wasted flash chasing. A little bit unfortunate from Victor there, or from Lysandra there. Really looked like it should have been a kill. Still have the opportunity to shove the lane in. But Victor does have TP. Oh, I'm sorry. Trying to do everything over here. I'm sorry about that. It will be fixed shortly. And SMSU trying to contest this dragon, but Seraphine isn't there, making this very, very difficult for them to contest. These Caitlyn traps trying to zone SMSU out of position. Lysandra's not going to be able to come either. SMSU just going to give it up.
Red team has slain the dragon.
Apologies about that. I didn't realize the scene didn't change. No kills have happened so far though, so at least nothing major has happened. And Orin still bullying his way through HP in this top lane, but still getting out farmed here. Keeping the gap from getting bigger though. Lysandra starting to get scary in mid. Starting to become harder and harder for Victor to deal with this. The poke keeps coming out. And holy cow, the observer went crazy there for a second, trying to get it all. SMSU able to poke more and more in this bottom lane. Gaia failed, getting quite a bit of damage dealt to that turret. Oh, thought it was more than that. Pajamas taking even more poke. Lysandra probably going to look for an all-in. No, doesn't take it. A little bit surprising, maybe concerned of where that Amumu would have been. But I think that's one I would have taken every time. And here comes the Nocturne. Ult across into top. But Jax gets the stun off and flashes out. There's a cheeky little ward hop there as well. And SMSU deciding not to Rift Herald top. Mumu secures his double buffs and is looking for potentially gank into bottom here. SMSU in a pretty safe location right now. Oh, but the root comes out. Caitlyn trying to bait it. Jax constantly jumping out. Seraphine, will she expect? Does not expect it. Gets caught out by the Moo. And that is first blood. But SMSU might be getting a kill back. Not quite. The Victor stun able to keep him alive during the Lysandra ult. Lysandra might be under a little trouble here mid, but is able to get out. Orin potentially has a kill potential on Jack's top now. Gonna decide to back, however.
Boom. Headshot.
Still pretty inactive so far this game. Gold staying even. SMSU maybe showing up top with this Rift Herald now. Looks like they're going to summon it and take this top turret. Do as much damage they can to it at least. And that is a lot of gold given across to those two. Jax gets a little tankier though. He's able to pick up the Sheen as well, so those are great items for Jax. Jax is going to be a lot more of a threat in this top lane. And there's the dodge coming out from Jax. Some damage traded back. Ornn blowing ult, maybe looking at an all-in versus Jax here. Does quite a bit of damage. Able to poke a little bit harder here. And keep in mind, Ornn does have more regen. But here, Dragon started. And there's the engage on to Seraphine. SMSU can't do anything about it. Ezreal able to get out. But that is another kill onto Seraphine. And 4 people on Dragon. SMSU not having great Dragon control this game. Lysandra just not coming down. SMSU should just get out. But they go in. They miss the smite onto Dragon. And that's going to be Nocturne dropping. Ezreal jumps over as well. And is going to have to flash out. SMSU not on the same page. And there, an extra plate over to Ornn, starting to get pretty big here. And that's him building up his item as well. Seraphine gets caught, takes a little bit of damage, but no trap means she stays alive. Jax has to back here, but does have TP. Very likely gonna rip it right away and go back to top lane. Mumu able to finish his run here. Jax really looking at this engage. Ornn has to flash out. Now Ornn going to be the one looking for a reset, and probably no TP available for Ornn though. This might be a lot of damage onto SMSU's top turret. Jax might be making a pretty penny here. Jax backs off for the pink ward instead. SMSU just trying to recover a little bit. Jax swings down towards mid lane here. Lysandra's out though. Elemental Horse getting some poke in, but not expecting the Mumu to still be here. Here comes Minoka though, comes across, able to get onto Jax. Gets the fear off, and here comes Lysandra. And there's the Nocturne ult to finish off one kill, and they get both. Great turn of events from SMSU in top. Baited out very well from Ornn. Knew his teammates were coming, so decides to opt in a little bit, keep them interested. Secures the first tower of the game from that. Victor now has roamed towards top. SMSU gets information there, so now that they can take Rift Herald without worrying about waves bouncing off mid lane. Nocturne gonna finish off Rift Herald here while Lysandra starts getting mid pushed in, trying to punish Victor for getting out and roaming, trying to deny some of that gold on the map. There it is. Nocturne with Rift Herald again for SMSU. It has been an objective SMSU is really focused on getting. Now Amumu looking for a gank bottom. Is SMSU going to be expecting this? They see it. Are they going to be able to avoid being dove here? Lysandra starting to make her way down. Understanding this is a dangerous position for SMSU to be in. There's the bind onto Seraphine. Seraphine taking so much damage. SMSU is able to block it though. And now Lysandra finds Amumu. But Amumu, too fast.
As expected.
And the fight is no longer happening in bottom, doesn't look like. As Ezreal saves Seraphine's life there. SMSU going to take some damage onto their mid turret since Victor didn't roam. Anoka may be looking for an engage here, but backs off. Mumu maybe looking for a gank in the mid. Nocturne trying to avoid it, but gets caught by the Mumu. Tries to get out now. Lysandra peeling the best she can. And Nocturne ends up living. But that's probably going to be another dragon given away from SMSU. They're going to try to get back in time. Nocturne does have ult. But just can't heal up in time. And that's 3 dragons given up from SMSU. And Ezreal jumping in there, trying to get some damage. Nocturne deciding to go in a little bit there, but I think he was trying to get on the Morgana. And here comes the Rift Herald out. Finish off this turret here. SMSU maybe gonna, no, they're gonna back off. And this is a smart call. Thought for a second there they might try to push that Rift Herald forward for a shot onto the tier 2, but just gonna secure the tier 1 and back off here. Donna takes a little bit of damage there. SMSU trying to get onto this Caitlyn, but no one here to make it work. Jack's gonna get some alone time on that top turret. That is not what SMSU wants. Got no one matching him right now. Lysandra looking for the engage again. Caitlyn was spell immune from the Morgana. And Morgana gonna sacrifice her life for Caitlyn's. But Jack's still on this top chart, finally gets it. And he's just getting free money while SMSU having a tough time pushing any objectives. Orin starting to make Victor run out of mana as he keeps trying to clear these waves. And SMSU backs off to deal with this top lane. Jack's very happy with that series of events. Give him a lot of solo farm. Able to take a tower by himself. SMSU might have to be a little wary of that snowballing against them. Lysandra backing now, so SMSU spending some time off the map. Making sure they're fully bought for the next fight. And Mumu starting blue. SMSU get a little vision with that Nocturne. And there, Nocturne jumping in, trying to finish off the Mumu. Ezreal jumping back over now, trying to kill the Morgana. And they do pick up a kill under the Morgana. And are they able to snowball that into an objective? A minute 30 still on Dragon. Ezreal takes a decent chunk of damage there. Jax gets some information that Lysandra is here. Orin taking a very little damage in mid. Ooh, forcing the flash out from Jax there. Lysandra with an aggressive play. Caitlyn rotating across. 40 seconds on drag now. Lysandra going to go ahead and get a reset in, but will be down alt for this dragon fight. About halfway up now. And Jax TPing in for this dragon fight. SMSU still on the way. And SMSU might be a tiny bit late for this, but I think we'll see a team fight for it. Seraphine gets the ward and doesn't die. Which was Lysandra with a big engage, but with no ult, she doesn't live. It doesn't matter though. SMSU cleaning up all those kills that Lysandra set up. What an engage from Lysandra. If she had ult, that would have been a highlight of the gameplay. But still, 4 kills traded for Lysandra's life. And that's all off the back of a great engage by Lysandra. Pajamas really carrying that fight on his back. And SMSU going to rotate over into the Baron as well. Hoping they have enough damage to take this down quickly here. Mumu just respawned. He's coming out of base now. SMSU has teleports. They're able to teleport their Lysandra into mid. And that mid teleport should prevent the other side from being able to come to Baron. And Mumu is just about to check it, but the Baron goes down. Lysandra needs to stay safe now. Lysandra actually going to go down and match the Victor. That might take out the turret. And there, the turret drops in bottom.
Turret has been destroyed.
SMSU just trying to push out a few lanes here. They do have Baron. So I'd like to see them in a 4 or 5 person group. But Orin, he's getting ganked here. Is he going to expect them to be coming from this far behind? He reads it, kind of. He avoids the snare. And he's getting out. He's doing good damage to Caitlyn. That is very lucky from SMSU. He reads the situation very, very well. And that should snowball into a free bottom turret. And here, even the Victor play. Nocturne diving right on top of him. He knows most of the players aren't here, but Victor able to fall back enough. Now Nocturne taking a lot of damage. Is he going to be able to live? He gets dropped, but Ezreal bringing damage back. Gets exhaust onto the Victor. Can they finish any of these kills off? Doesn't finish either of them off, but Victor, or Lissandra, comes across and finishes 2. Now a 2 versus 2. SMSU trying to kite this Jax out now. And they're able to pick up the kill on Jax, but Caitlyn doing a lot of damage here. Lissandra gets some CC on her, but unable to finish the kills.
Boom. Headshot.
Now Orin, he's trying to turn this. He can't get away. Gets a lot of damage dealt. Gonna pick up some of these beads. Maybe enough. Not quite. As SMSU on the wrong side of a 5 for 3. And SMSU just a little too split to go for a fight like that. Another common thing that happens to SMSU, they get the Baron buff, but they don't group, and they lose the team fight.
This one's for you. Ha! The stage is yours.
A little bit of a reset happening here. Minute 30 going to be the next big objective as that becomes sole point for Concordia. Victor pushing in bottom pretty hard here. And a minute to go before Dragon Spawn. Lissandra's still in the top lane. Does not have TP up either. Really needs to push this wave and then get back. SMSU now fully grouping, looking for this dragon. And here comes the Jax TP. We are going to have a 5 versus 5 fight for this dragon. SMSU might be able to find a wraparound here. Oh, they don't see the Caitlyn. Zerming gets hit by bind, takes quite a bit of damage, but stays alive. Lissandra now his waves bouncing in against Concordia. Starting to put Concordia on a clock. Ezreal comes across, there's a lot of damage. Orin taking quite a bit of damage from that bind. Lissandra trying to find a good flank position. Orin taking another bind. Gets healed though. Well, Lissandra starting to get pushed out of her flank position. Both teams a little unsure of what to do. And Lissandra goes in early. Just has to ult. And I can't tell exactly what's happening. Nocturne gets a kill onto Caitlyn. Gaiafail doing a lot of damage here, trying to stay alive as well. He's doing damage from over the wall. And SMSU kind of cleaned the floor with that fight. Only 3 people live, but Ezreal was in a very safe position for a lot of that fight. And they're able to secure another dragon for themselves and prevent Soul Point again. With this, they should also be able to take the tier 2 mid turret. Maybe even a little more.
Red team's turret has been destroyed.
SMSU trying to decide what they want to do. I think they're going to reset, maybe aim for a Baron play when they get back. Nocturne trying to finish off some camps on his way out here. And that's Victor teleporting to bottom. And Nocturne with a little bit of a late back. This is going to throw off SMSU's timing. They're not going to be able to start Baron right away here, even though Victor's showing bottom. Lysandra trying to find a way to attack that ward without aggroing Baron. And SMSU deciding to start Baron on Vision. Ezreal working on getting mid lane moving. Ezreal ult doing quite a bit of damage there. This is going to come down to a smite fight from the looks of it. And Morgana steals it away with a snare, but Nocturne not having it, wants revenge. Able to pick up the Morgana. Are they able to pick up even more? They get 2 kills. They get 1 on Amumu, 1 on Morgana. SMSU maybe going to look to push mid here. SMSU trying to finish off this turret. And there, another Nocturne ult onto Caitlyn. Caitlyn takes quite a bit of damage, but does get out. SMSU trying to kite this out. Minoka now pretty low. And I think SMSU is going to back after that. They are able to break the turret, but they're unable to take any more. 2 minutes to go until another soul point. And SMSU deciding to not back on a lot of their characters, but to try to cut some waves, take some jungle away here. Gemma's now taking pretty low. Jax looks like he's going to opt into a fight versus Nocturne in bottom. Nocturne is able to get out before Jax even comes to the wave. Caitlyn put a sneaky little trap in the tower remains. So they're hard to see. Amumu giving the blue buff over to Jax here. Jax going to start to become a pain to deal with. SMSU now 50 seconds away from this dragon. Lysandra does have TP. And we're going to see them use their Baron enhanced recalls. Seraphine getting picked out a little bit here. Takes quite a bit of damage, but is able to retreat out. Minoka getting caught in a fight bottom, but is able to stay out a bit again. Lysandra trying to put the pressure on with waves. Now there's a mid wave and a top wave crashing. And Lysandra is here to prevent them from doing dragon. Snare barely missing there.
Mine.
Sit down and listen up.
And Ezreal comes across, doing quite a bit of damage again. Ornn now trying to escort these waves, trying to get the inhibitor for this. Forces them to start the dragon. And here comes the engage. Ornn's not here though. Pajamas does a lot of damage in the back line. Picks up one, picks up two. But Ezreal, untouched here, gets out from the Jax. He's got to try to finish off this Jax. Is able to finish it off. Tries to steal the dragon as well. Doesn't get the dragon, but might be able to kill his Victor. Victor able to get the kill, but Ornn's been pushing this whole time. He takes an inhibitor. He takes the turret.
Blue team double kill.
And SMSU gives up Soul, but they're able to pick up an inhibitor and a Nexus turret.
Let me give you a hug.
Ornn going to go ahead and recall here. Big fights for SMSU. Now another reset happening as SMSU. Most of them respawning right now. And our next objective coming up, Baron in 1 minute. And that mid inhibitor dropping as well as a Nexus turret means it's going to be difficult for Concordia if they have waves shoved into them to contest this Baron. Seeing them trying to deal with that right now by pushing out this mid lane. And Ornn trying to create more pressure by showing up bottom. Trying to get more waves collapsing on them. Trying to make Concordia feel like they have no place to be. That they can't contest because there's too many waves crashing. Nocturne aggressively farming still. SMSU might get caught out a little bit mid. They are very weak right now. They only have 2 people mid. Sandra's got to be careful here as well. SMSU, they could find an engage here though. And there's Nocturne into 3. Finds a good engage. Getting a lot of damage out here. There's Minoka picking up that one. Ezreal chasing even further. Meanwhile, on the other side, Lissandra was able to delay everyone. SMSU with a huge fight here. They should be able to turn it into game. The great... and Minoka coming across, trying to clear this up. Trying to make sure that they pad the stats with as many kills as they can. As SMSU are going to take game number 3 and the victory with a pretty weird start to a fight there. But thank you for joining us here tonight. And I hope you have a great day.